Hell wasn't made for demons, it was made for those who listened to their whispers, Imam al-Ghazali once said. But who was the first one to whisper pride into the heart of the created world? He was called Azazel. In Islam, he's a jinn who rose among the angels and was cast down deeper than hell. In Leviticus, he's a mysterious desert spirit. In the Book of Enoch, he's an archangel who became a teacher of demons. He taught people about swords, magic, and vanity. His name is tied to the scapegoat and the sin of pride. Holy to some, a betrayer to others, and to still others a fallen archangel of knowledge. Today we'll tell you who Azazel was, and why even in hell, he is feared. We mainly learn about Azazel from the Book of Enoch, which isn't in the Bible, and there's a short mention of him in the Book of Leviticus. In the Book of Enoch, he's the leader of the rebellious Watchers, who taught people secret things they shouldn't have known. In Leviticus, his name is connected to the ritual of the scapegoat, which has led to many different ideas about him. We also look at what early Christian writers and Jewish rabbis said to see how the idea of Azazel changed over time. Our study will be about religion, from where he came from to his fall, and how he affected people. Our goal is to create a full picture of one of the most mysterious figures in spiritual history. The name Azazel first pops up in the ritual for the Day of Atonement. One goat was for the Lord, and the other was for Azazel, carrying the people's sins into the desert. What his name means is still debated. Some think it means strength of God, while others believe it refers to a desert cliff. Later traditions clearly make Azazel a desert demon, the leader of fallen spirits. The ritual then becomes more than just cleaning up. It's about sending evil back to where it came from. The desert is his turf, and sins go back to the one who started them. Leviticus hints at his power, and the Book of Enoch spills the beans on his crimes and downfall. So, Azazel gets this double identity. He's a name and a ritual and a powerful fallen angel. His story helps explain where evil comes from and what it's for. Before his fall, Azazel was one of the highest Watchers, angels who watched over humanity. His name, Strength of God, shows his power and his role as a guardian of the physical world. He was a master of the elements, controlling the energy of the earth, metals, and stones. Among the angels, he was respected and commanded legions. His fall was like a trusted general betraying his command, not just a simple follower. He was created good, but evil twisted his true nature. His story is a sad one of loss, a protector of light who became a corrupter. This shows that he made a conscious choice, and it had huge consequences for the whole universe. Azazel's fall starts with the Watcher's plot, as told in the Book of Enoch. He convinces the angels to break the rules and take human wives, sealing their promise on Mount Hermon. This was a clear rebellion against God's plan. Under his lead, the angels have Nephilim, giants who brought chaos and violence to earth. Azazel stands out for more than just this. He shows people the secrets of working with metal, teaching them how to make weapons and jewelry. His knowledge leads to wars and pride, messing up human innocence. He didn't just mess up himself, he caused a whole system to fall apart. His actions turned the world from peaceful to crazy. Azazel isn't just the leader of the rebellion, but also the source of harmful knowledge. His part is key to understanding how big the disaster was that happened on Earth. Azazel's appearance is more of a symbol than an exact description. Before his fall, he was a picture of strength, light, and creativity, often linked with metal and stone. After his rebellion, his image changed. He went from being a guardian to a desert demon, often with goat-like features. The goat represents stubbornness and strong desires, showing his sin. His wings are now black and broken, and his eyes glow like hot metal. His look isn't just evil, it's a twisted power that brought weapons and vanity to humanity. Azazel is a fallen star, a mix of angel and beast, a warning about what happens when pride and forbidden knowledge take over. His story reminds us that even the greatest power, when twisted by sin, becomes destructive. Azazel is the master of forbidden arts, a celestial geophysicist and metallurgist whose knowledge changed humanity. He taught people how to turn ore into deadly steel and create weapons, as well as the art of cosmetics and jewelry, sparking vanity. His power isn't in illusions, but in changing society through technology and culture, making the natural weaknesses of the human heart even stronger. After his fall, Azazel was bound and sent into the desert, becoming the spirit of desolate places. His power now isn't about creating things, but about attracting sin, like a black hole for spiritual impurity. The desert became his prison and his kingdom, and he became a symbol of despair and temptation, an endless shadow hanging over empty hearts and lands. Azazel wasn't an outcast, but a celestial guardian, trusted to keep the earth's secrets and protect humanity from knowing too much too soon. His job was to guard hidden treasures and make sure they weren't revealed before their time. He was like a shield between people and dangerous knowledge that could lead to ruin. His downfall was a tragedy. The protector became a source of temptation and disaster. Azazel's fall marked the beginning of his new mission, not to protect, but to corrupt humanity. He taught people how to forge weapons, turning the world into a battlefield. Through jewelry and vanity, he sowed discord and materialism. His lessons sparked a chain reaction of sin that changed humanity's destiny forever. Azazel didn't change humanity through battles, but by sharing forbidden knowledge. He taught people how to work with metal and make jewelry, giving them tools for war and vanity. His gifts started a new time. Weapons, ornaments, new ways of ranking people. So Azazel became not a conqueror but someone who planted the seeds of pride and destruction in the human soul. After messing up mankind the first time, Azazel's appearances changed and became more symbolic, because of his punishment from God. Even though he was locked up deep in the desert, chained underground, he was still around. Instead, he became a powerful symbol, a main point for the idea of sin itself. The most important and repeated way Azazel showed up in this new state was in the serious ritual of the Day of Atonement, which is talked about in the Book of Leviticus. Here he doesn't show up in a body, but his presence is called upon and recognized. Choosing the goat meant for Azazel is a powerful religious act, admitting that there's a certain spirit that acts as a container for sin. This ritual is a special and strange win for the fallen angel. Even as a prisoner, he remains a very important being, so powerful that the holy laws of God's chosen people have to directly deal with him. His name being used in this holy ceremony confirms his status as the ruler of the wasted lands, a being that uncleanness naturally goes to. Every year when the scapegoat was sent into the desert, taking away the people's sins, it was a sign of Azazel's lasting power. It was a yearly tribute, a ritual feeding of his dark domain, an acknowledgement of his role as the final destination for the very filth he helped bring into the world. Besides this official ritual, Azazel's presence was felt in people's minds as the demon of the desert, the spirit of empty places. Travelers lost in the huge empty spaces, or hermits feeling the crushing weight of despair and temptation in their loneliness, experienced his influence indirectly. He became the symbol of spiritual abandonment and hopelessness. This was, in a way, a psychological victory. From his prison, he could still send out a feeling of emptiness, a spiritual poison that affected those who strayed too far from their community and from God. His presence was the chilling feeling of being completely alone in a harsh, godless land, the temptation to give in to total despair. So, Azazel's later wins and appearances were the wins of a powerful, lingering shadow. He won by becoming a key part of the religious ideas of sin and forgiveness. He showed up not in fiery visions and glory, but in the quiet, serious words of ritual and in the silent loneliness of the desert. Through the scapegoat, his power was recognized and even served by the very people he had harmed. In the temptations of the desert, his influence was felt by the lonely soul. Even in chains, Azazel made sure he had a lasting and powerful role in humanity's spiritual story, a constant, threatening presence outside of civilization and faith. Azazel and Lucifer are two powerful figures of the fall, but their paths are different. Lucifer represents pride, rebelling against heaven, while Azazel is a corrupting teacher, focused on earth. Their relationship isn't a team-up, but a rebellion that runs side by side. One challenges God, the other challenges humanity. The fight between Azazel and God wasn't a fair one. It was more like a swift and complete judgment from a powerful creator on a servant who rebelled. Azazel's challenge wasn't met with talks or arguments, it was met with a firm and scary judgment. His sin was twofold. First, he crossed the sacred line between the spirit world and the physical world. He pushed the Watchers to have children with human women. This act was a serious twisting of God's plan. It led to monstrous offspring, the Nephilim, and brought chaos and fighting to the world. It was a direct attack on how special God's creation was and humanity's special place in it. The second and maybe more serious part of his fight with God was teaching forbidden knowledge. God set a natural pace for humans to grow, a slow unfolding of wisdom and understanding. Azazel's choice to reveal the secrets of making metal for war and the art of trickery was a direct attack on this divine plan. He armed humanity against itself and taught them to value things that don't truly matter. This wasn't just disobedience, it was a deep act of sabotage. He gave humanity tools they weren't ready for, setting up a future filled with bloodshed and pride. In God's eyes, this was an unforgivable twisting of the very idea of humanity. The divine answer, as told in the Book of Enoch, was given to the Archangel Raphael. The order was clear and harsh: tie Azazel hand and foot and throw him into the darkness. This wasn't just a punishment, it was a quarantine. Azazel was to be completely cut off from the world he so eagerly corrupted. He was locked up in the desert of Dudael, buried under a pile of rough and sharp stones. This judgment perfectly matched his crime. Just as he dug deep into the earth to reveal its forbidden metal secrets, so too was he buried deep in the earth, trapped by the very stuff he taught humanity to use for evil. This conflict shows a very important religious point: how complete and unstoppable God's power is. Azazel, with all his strength and knowledge, was powerless against God's judgment. His rebellion didn't shake the heavens, it only sealed his own downfall. His fight with God was short and decisive, ending in his complete defeat and imprisonment. He was made an example, a symbol of what happens when you disobey the Creator's will. His unending fate is to stay bound in darkness, waiting for the final judgment, where he will be thrown into the lake of fire, the final, irreversible end to his long and destructive fight with the divine order. The story of Azazel is about a fallen guardian who brought forbidden knowledge and the art of war to humanity. His lesson is a warning. Even light can become a shadow if power comes before wisdom. His shadow still hangs over our history, reminding us of the cost of pride and the temptation of power. Exploring spiritual figures like Azazel opens up deep spiritual traditions and timeless questions about good and evil. In our next videos, we'll tell you all about the main players in the heavenly conflict and world order, and how they affect us today. So please like this video, and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on a lot more interesting and helpful information. See you in the next videos, friends. Bye for now.